Hey Merfolk fans, I'm Joe. Thanks very much for joining me. I'm here with round 5 of a Modern Friendly League. At this point I was 3-1 and going for 4-1 if I win this round. Looks like I won the die roll. I had really good luck in this league with the die rolls. So let's have a look at the opening hands. Excellent Merfolk hand, really great. Interaction, card draw, creatures, snap keep. Opponent mulliganed, so I guess we had good luck with mulligans this league also. Okay, strong opening with Wanderwine into Cursecatcher. Worth noting that both of my blue sources are non-basics in case I'm up against the mirror match. Okay, it doesn't look like the mirror match. We see it's Tron. No turn 1 play, great for us. Now, seeing that it's Tron and having drawn into a second Lord, I'm going to play the Lord here. If it's sort of traditional green-red Tron, we can establish, especially with Cursecatcher on the table, we can establish 3 toughness before the opponent can get Pyroclasm online. And it has the added benefit of getting a little more damage in with the Cursecatcher. So opponent already down to 18. Pass to them. Second Tron piece, pretty scary, but still no plays. So it's possible that they're just cruising to natural Tron on turn 3. Drew a land, opens up our options a little bit if we drew another land for Master of Waves, but as it stands, we've only got 3 2-drops. Echoing Truth, not very useful right now, but as I mentioned, we can play our second Island Walk Lord to play around Pyroclasm and also push more damage. So opponent's going to take 6 here, going down to 12. Pretty fast clock from the Merfolk. If we draw another Lord, we've got lethal next turn. And it looks like the opponent just didn't really have anything. So the Ultra Aggro plan got us there in Game 1. Let's go ahead and see how Game 2 went. Let's open that up. Alright, opponent is on the play. What does the opening hand look like? So this is a little tricky because we've got only 1 land, but it's got a counter spell which can be enormous against Tron. It's got Spreading Siege, which can be even better. Silvergill also to help us draw cards. The 1 land is a basic island, which is excellent because it'll let us cast both Negate and Spreading Siege if we draw even a Mutavault. So for me, on the draw, against a difficult matchup, already up 1 win, this is a keep. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this keep, but I like it. I mean, it's obviously a little bit nerve-wracking because we could easily not draw lands. So here we see Urza's Tower, Interchromatic Sphere. He does have a turn 1 play of this game. So for my draw step, I hit a Harbinger. Pretty terrible. So we'll open with Cursecatcher. Things still going okay, but I'll have another draw step to hit a land. Okay, so just like last game, the opponent hits a second Tron piece. Cracks Chromatic Sphere, plays Ancient Stirrings. He's got mana to cover Cursecatcher, so we're not going to counter that right now. We see he found Urza's Power Plant, which is the missing Tron piece. So pretty broken stuff there. Does he have a follow-up 1-drop play? No. So just passes back to us. We were hoping to draw land, but instead we drew AEther Vial. Not the worst possible draw. I mean, we could have hit a Master of Waves or something, but it's super slow. So we'll cast the AEther Vial, swing for 2 with Cursecatcher, pass back to the opponent. Plays that Power Plant, access to 7 mana here. Oblivion Stone, which we could have negated. Unfortunately, it resolved. AEther Vial goes to 1, and still missing on the land. Pretty rough. We went 3 draw steps without hitting a land. Fortunate, I guess, to get the AEther Vial online, but with the opponent on O-Stone now, We're in a tight spot. Opponent's going to take 1 from Cursecatcher, and we just pass back. So if we had drawn into a land in any of those first 3 draws, we would have had Spreading Seas cutting them off of Tron. See that they're just missing land drops here. So I still feel good about that keep. If we get to bring in a creature, we're going to be able to draw a card with Silvergill off of AEther Vial. Another AEther Vial. Now, we're not going to play that out yet because the opponent has Oblivion Stone sitting on the board. I'm just going to go to attacks and see if I can lure him into cracking this Oblivion Stone. I mean, it's not a terrible option for him anyway, so it's not like I'm really tricking him here. So he took the damage, and then I think I just went to the end step here. Or passed to go to the end step. For some reason, he didn't actually go to the end step, I think. Well, no, let's see. Maybe he does let me go to the end step. There we go. Decides at this point to crack Oblivion Stone. And I decided to respond by activating AEther Vial. We've got way too much stuff in our hand, and I'd rather replace the Silvergill Adept with a land. So since I have the opportunity to activate AEther Vial, I'm going to take it here. So I'll bring in Silvergill Adept. Hoping to draw land. We finally hit a land. Unfortunately, the Silvergill Adept will bite the dust. And yeah, we're going to have to discard, which is fine. Master of Waves goes into the graveyard. Opponent plays an Urza's Tower, which gives him access to 10 mana. And we've got an Ugin to deal with now. Again, Negate would have been super awesome if we even drew 1 land, but he just bolts my face, ticking up Ugin. Draw another Spreading Seas. Play the AEther Vial. Now, Spreading Seas could have cut him off of Tron. Ugin would have had to -2 to get rid of Spreading Seas. But if we're not generating some tempo advantage with AEther Vial, then we're just tapping out on our mana each turn, and just giving the opponent more and more opportunities to draw into massive bombs. So we have to unfortunately take a turn off to play AEther Vial there. Now, many of you probably would have scooped already, but I'm not that type of player. So the opponent bolts my face again. Ugin is ready to ultimate at this point. Opponent feeling pretty comfortable, so doesn't play anything else out. AEther Vial is going to go up to 1 here. Drew a Mutavault. We've got our lands now, but it's a little bit late. Play the Mutavault. I think I'm going to take him off Tron now. Hoping that Ugin will minus instead of ultimating. Drew another Spreading Seas. I mean, we've got excellent cards in the matchup. We just fell too far behind on lands. Pass to the opponent. We're going to get to see an Ugin ultimate here, I think. Gains 7 life, draws 7 cards. All of these things are painful for us. We can't deal 24 damage. We can't deal with him having 14 cards in hand, and we certainly can't deal with him putting 7 permanents onto the board. So I think the opponent is like choosing his cards here or something. Puts a Thrag Tusk and a World Breaker. Draws a Chromatic. This is wild. To put a bunch of lands, expedition maps. Cracks an expedition map. Probably going to get another. Yeah, he turns Tron back on. Now he's got 10 mana. Taps for 8. I think he's playing out a Karn here. So, triggering Sanctum of Ugin. Is he going to get another Ugin? What did he get? Wormcoil Engine. We've got a Vapor Snag for Wormcoil Engine. Again, we've got excellent cards. I think we could have won this game if we had 1 land in the first couple draw steps. It seems crazy against all this insanity, but we had the counterspell, we had the Vapor Snag, we have a clock, we had Island Walk, plenty of card draw. But you know, sometimes you keep hands that need certain cards to be made, and you know, we kept one of those hands and we didn't get there. So I can't complain. I knew the risk I was taking. I was already up a game. We're going to be on the play next game. So I scooped at that point against an Ugin and a Karn, a World Breaker and a Thrag Tusk. Let's see how Game 3 went. Remember, this is round 5 of this Modern Friendly. Sitting at 3-1, doing my best to finish 4-1. Being on the play is an excellent advantage, always in Modern. We're fortunate enough to draw an excellent hand. I would love to see a Negate in this opening hand, or an AEther Vial, but there's no way we can mulligan this. It's a great clock. So I'm going to open Wanderwine Hub into Cursecatcher. Very typical opening for me. Pass to the opponent. Let's see what they've got. Urza's Tower, Chromatic Sphere. So we drew a land, which is potentially good for Master of Waves. Potentially good to play a 2-drop and a 1-drop in one turn. I'm going Island Master this turn. Get my attacks going. Cursecatcher swings for 2. Opponent's already down to 18, and we'll pass the turn. Okay, Razorverge Thicket. I don't know if we've seen this yet, so the opponent is definitely on green-white Tron. Looks like they're going to cycle Chromatic Sphere and use the mana to cast Ancient Stirrings. So he's got mana up to cover it. He's already played his land for the turn. We're going to allow this one to resolve here. So he reveals Ugin the Spirit Dragon, which is really scary. It's good to know that he's got that in his hand, if there's any way to play around that. And then he's going to follow up with Expedition Map. So he's on his way to Ugin. For my turn, I drew a Spreading Seas, which is pretty cool, I think. I can take the opponent off of Tron for a moment. Now, I usually don't play my land before casting Spreading Seas, but I was going to want to get out this extra Cursecatcher this turn, so I was going to need access to extra blue mana anyway. So Spreading Seas on the Tron piece. Drew into another Lord, so we've got a game plan for sure. We've got a way to win. Played out the second Cursecatcher and swing for 4, taking the opponent down to 14. So things looking great from our side. The opponent still has the Ugin in hand, which is, as I mentioned multiple times, very frightening. Keeps me up at night. So the opponent, let's see. He played an Urza's Mine. He has the Expedition Map in hand to get Tron online. Next turn, if he gets this Expedition Map cracked to get a power plant, he's going to have 8 mana and be able to play Ugin and almost certainly win the game. So he starts this turn by playing Nature's Claim on my Spreading Seas. Now, that wouldn't have turned Tron on this turn, but this is a really, really important play, probably the most important play in the match. Now, the opponent obviously has mana up to cover the Cursecatcher, but we have to think about what the opponent's plan is this turn. He already played out his land. So if I let Nature's Claim resolve, Spreading Seas is going to go away, no matter what. But if Spreading Seas goes away and then he has 2 mana, he gets to crack Expedition Map, get his Urza's Power Plant, and then cast Ugin next turn. If I sacrifice 1 Cursecatcher, he has to tap one of his lands. He won't be able to activate Expedition Map, and he won't be able to get Tron online next turn. So unless he naturally draws the Power Plant. So we're using Cursecatcher to basically time walk the opponent here. He wants that Spreading Seas gone, so of course he's going to pay the Cursecatcher's tax. We always knew Spreading Seas was going to bite the dust, but now the opponent can't crack Expedition Map, which is a huge advantage for us. We have another Island Walk Lord in hand. So the opponent, at this point, after having played his land already, had nothing else to do that turn. I drew into another Master of Waves, pretty poor, but I do get to play out another Island Walk Lord, present a 2-turn clock. I'm going to attack for 6 here, take the opponent down to 8, and we've got 9 on board. So if we think about it for a second, unless the opponent has natural Tron with a power plant in his hand next turn, he's going to have to tap 2 of his lands to crack Expedition Map, and at that point he definitely won't have enough mana for Ugin. If he, let's see, if he taps Razor Verge and the Mine, cracks Expedition Map, gets the power plant, he can then have 5 mana with Tower, and so he pretty much doesn't really have any great options next turn. All of this because we sacrifice a Cursecatcher that the opponent had the ability to pay for. So just be alive to those possibilities, because that definitely made this entire match. Alright, he's going for Ancient Stirrings here. He could, at this point, hit the power plant off of Ancient Stirrings, which would give him access to 7 mana, which would give him access to things like Karn and Wormcoil. We've got Wormcoil covered with Vapor Snag. So we are going to let this one resolve, I think. We do want to keep our 9 power on the board to kill him next turn. Ancient Stirrings does magically find a power plant. So he's got access to that 7 mana this turn. But he decided to scoop. So it's possible the only payoff card that he had in his hand was that Ugin that he got from the first Ancient Stirrings. So yeah, we win again against Tron. The matchup requires very careful play, but there's nothing that they're doing that we can't beat. We've got such pressure with our Merfolk that often they're the ones on the back foot, and Spreading Seas does such a good job slowing them down, potentially just winning the game by itself. Basically, it's such a hindrance to their game plan. So let me know your thoughts about the matchup in general, about my plays in particular, about this league in general. I did go 4-1, so very nice. And yeah, please tune in for the next video where I'll probably be starting up another Modern League. Thanks as always, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye.